Hallo, 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 hallo. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how to extract files from the PAK files, get new files into the PAK file on Linux. First of all, we have PakExtract, a nice little tool from this nice person here, Daniel Gibson. You just go here, clone it, git clone, bada, and it should clone it. All right. So we go in there, PakExtract, and all you need to do, make, and the magic is done. So now we have this program here. I don't know, is there a make install? There is no rule for that. So I just copy that to a place where I can call it from everywhere on my system. So I do a copy PakExtract, and let's go and see, put it here, right? And then we go to repos, Quake 2, debug, and here I have a few PAK files. Actually, they should be in the base Quake 2. I don't know why they're here. So we go into base Quake 2 and we say PakExtract. All right. And how does it work again? PakExtract, output dir. Okay, so we say PakExtract and then we pass pak0, for example, output to pak0. No such file or directory. Okay, we have to make it pak0. Let's do that again. It does its thing. So let's go into pak0. And here is all the content of the PAK file. That's great. And before I forget, look at this. Short pants and no socks today. It's amazing. It's finally that weather again. It's coming back. Let's go back to, where were we? Yeah, PakExplorer. You might ask, oh, PakExplorer, isn't that the Windows program that we use? And it looks quite windows-y, Windows sloppy, right? Well, as we are on Linux, anything is possible. We just can download it. We are pretty wild here. We got it in our downloads folder. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going into my downloads folder. Downloads, and then I say unzip the PakExplorer. And don't forget the -d, and we say PakExplorer, right? Otherwise, it just puts the files in your downloads folder and you have to manually put them together again. So don't forget the -d PakExplorer or any folder name you like. So you go to cd PakExplorer, PakExpl, and here it is. So now how do we call it? People who are on Linux for a while or Unix stuff, right? No, there is a program called Wine, and we can just wine PakExpl.exe, and stuff is happening, and here is the program. Okay, pretty nice. By the way, if it tells you, hey, I don't find any, I don't find the necessary DLL or whatever, and the program doesn't start, there's another utility that's called Winetricks, and you can just install it via your package manager, right? And if we call that, it should actually start to launch a graphical user interface to select what we want to do. And we can, for example, say select the default wine prefix. We say OK, and then we can say, for example, run install a Windows DLL or component. We can say OK. And then, whoops, it will present you with all the MFC, DLLs, whatever you need. You can also do all that via command line. For example, if we need the MFC 42 DLL, we just say Winetricks. And I think MFC 42, thanks, DLL. And then it will just try to download that. Okay, I already have this, so maybe it didn't find it. Maybe there is no such thing. Unknown arc. Okay. So let's actually try this again. You can say list list DLLs list. Okay. Winetricks DLLs list, and we grab for MFC maybe. So it will, whoops, tell you, okay, these are the ones I have. So we can say, for example, Winetricks MFC 42, I guess, because it says it's here. Okay, sometimes that's needed. Quite an old thing. Visual Studio C++ or C++ Visual C++ 6. You appear to be using Wine-EXE 64 mode. That's correct. Already installed skipping, but if it wasn't installed, it would install it now. All right. Okay, pretty cool. So now you might ask, okay, I always have to go into this folder and call Wine and PakExplorer. That's kind of inconvenient. So what we can do is actually make it like create a nice little button here, like for your other programs, and then you just click on it and then it starts like any other application. How to do that? Pretty easy. Well, we just copy that one, the whole directory. Oops, we go one up, right? We say copy -r for folders, PakExpl, and we call that to our wine prefix. What is that? That is a specific folder with your wine configuration. You can create a new one, but I just keep it simple and keep the default one, and that is just in your home folder, and that is .wine. And then there's a drive C. That's your C drive on Windows. We don't have that shit on Linux, right? C drive, K drive, whatever. It's Windows. So we have program files like these weird things with the x86. They still carry that around on Windows. Losers. And we just copy that right here, right on the C drive. I don't want to put it into a folder that has blanks in their file names because that's a no-no, right? Usually people who do that, I don't like it. I don't use it. I don't want it on my system. Okay, so we copied it there and we just, whoopsie. We just go there, wine, drive, C, boom. And there we have the PakExplorer. We make a new folder and I call that, I also did this on Windows, by the way. Like imagine this is your Windows C hard drive now, right? So we make a new folder that's called programs. Simple, not program like blank files, program blank files, blank x86, and you never know where it went. Is it the 32-bit executable? Is it a 64-bit executable? Who even cares, all right? So we just have a programs folder and put everything we want in there. So we make a nice little move command, PakExplorer, and we move that into programs. Boom. Okay, we go into programs. There it is. Now we go into PakExplorer. So now comes the important part. We create a new file. Use any editor you want, of course. I use this weird Vim tool. I don't know. I found it on the net. I got used to it. What can I say? We make a new file and we call that maybe pakexpl.desktop, a desktop file. All right. So now these desktop files, they follow a specific like syntax, and we say it's a desktop entry. Okay. Then we give it a name, PakExplorer. We also give it the information. What should it actually do? And the first thing we want to do here is before we launch the program, we want to set an environment variable, and that is the wine prefix, where what is our C drive and all, right? That we just, where is this thing living, this program? And that is being done by saying environment and then wine prefix. And we say is equal to, and I don't think this is possible. I think you have to actually type out the whole from the root directory down to your user directory and then wine, right? This is our wine prefix. Again, you could have something like my wine prefix and put certain things in there, but we keep it simple, as I said. All right, and then we actually launch this is the actual command that should be executed, which is just wine that you saw earlier when we started the program the first time, right? Okay, so and then we put this in quotes to be safe here, and then we just navigate to this thing where the program lives. It's pretty easy, programs. And see now, like, you could do this like program files. I don't like it. I like it short and simple and concise programs. That's it. PakExplorer. And then we say PakExplorer, expl.exe. All right, that's it. Okay, next line is we give it a type. We say it's an application. It's not an Excel file, it's not a JSON file, it is an actually executable. It's an application. All right, and we say startup notify is true. Actually, I don't remember what that was. I'll write it in the description or something, or someone can type it in the comments. I forgot, sorry. Okay, so that's it. That should be fine. We save and quit the file, all right? So this desktop file, actually, it's not just magically being picked up by the operating system or your desktop environment, whatever, right? So we need to issue a command to actually install it. And that is a pretty simple one. It's called desktop file install. And we give it the directory where it should install that file to. And that is -- directory equals to, and now we give it the path. Actually, be careful, don't give it like this tilde abbreviation for your home directory. You have to put in the whole path again, home, me, and that is local share applications, all right? So that is one of those paths, usually on any distribution that is being picked up or observed by this whole desktop thingy. And then it notices, okay, there's a desktop file. I should do something here with my desktop files. All right. So that is the first argument. The second one is actually the desktop file itself that we just created. So that is pakexpl.desktop. Okay, just hit enter. And if your desktop file was fine, like there were no syntax issues, stuff like that, then it will just yield nothing as a result. That's kind of the Unix way, you know, if everything went right, just don't say anything. Let's have a cup of coffee first. Woo! Yes, so let's try this out. I click here, I type PakExplorer, and here it is. Oh my god. I click on it. Ta-da! Isn't that great? But wait, you might actually not see this desktop like I did. I'm on Fedora. I don't know, other distributions maybe a little bit slower, right? They just need a little bit more help. It's not enough to just install it. You also have to update this whole thing and then it will pick it up. In order to do that, you just put in this update -desktop -database, and then you give it the folder where we install the desktop file into, right? Which is local share applications. So, and now if you still don't see it, I can't help you. I don't know. So here's the PakExplorer. It's there. So let's try, does it even work? Okay, we navigate to a base Quake 2 directory, pak 0. It's there, it's all there. We can like extract stuff, we can do everything we want, hit about, read about it a little bit, send an email maybe to this wonderful person who put this up. I don't know if you will get a reply, like it was developed in 1997, right? Anyway, you might be asking, but Michael, what about the nice desktop icon I see on Windows? Like if we hit PakExplorer, right? And we say maybe pin to task manager, we only have like this sad little question mark here. I mean, we can click it and it opens. It's still a little sad. So we can actually use another tool to extract icon files from a Windows executable on Linux. And it is called wrestool. Probably the W stays for Windows, I guess. And we can just do something like this, like wrestool, and then I think it's -L, and then we can say PakExplorer.exe, and it will tell us what resources are stored in this file. Okay, we have like, what do we have? All this stuff. What we're actually looking for is an icon file, right? And there are actually icon groups, and usually you will find the right file in those groups. Okay, so now that we know what is in there, we can extract those files. So we call it with the argument -X for extract. You know, it's not EX, it's X, it's cooler. Extract -type, we said 14 for the group files, and then we say --output is just this directory where we are in right now. We just throw everything in there, right? And then we just give it the file name PakExplorer.exe. Hit enter, ls, and you see a few files here, three files, 3 icon files. And let's see which one we actually want to use. Yeah, that's the one actually we want to see, and not this silly little question mark here, right? What else do we have? Well, you can have this one. I think this is a little bit like scary, right? So I go with that one. That is fine. So it is the 128.ico file. So how can we actually now tell the desktop thing that it should use that icon? Well, we just added the desktop file, PakExplorer.desktop, and we add something here, and that is icon is equal to, well, by now you know how it works. Again, here you actually have to type out the whole path to your home directory, your wine prefix. By the way, wine prefix, again, it's just like a Python environment, something like that. And then you go drive C, and then you go programs, and then you go PakExplorer, and then you go PakExpl. Okay, it's the 128 file. Okay, that's it. We just save it. So now that we have actually updated our desktop file with the icon information, we just call the same command again that we did before in order to install it. Boom. So now we actually should see a nice icon for the PakExplorer. Let's try that. Let's go here, PakExplorer. Okay, we already see it here. Pin to Task Manager. And here it is. PakExplorer with a nice icon, not the silly question mark. And we have the program here. Amazing. We can actually continue to install other programs that were previously designed for Windows in exact the same way. For example, there's also PakEscape, another Windows program that deals with PAK files, and we can do the exact same process that we just did for the PakExplorer. Yeah, so that's it for now. Hope you learned something, and hope you're having fun extracting resources from your Quake 2 PAK files, and maybe change them a little bit and add new graphics, override them, stuff like that. See you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.